Atamari, good morning everybody. It's your girl Sophronia Smith and I'm here at 92.7 Arrow FM, Access Radio Masterton, which is in Te Karu o Te Ika, Wairarapa. And you're listening to Mama E-Preneur Under Construction. And over the next 2 months, every Thursday, 9 to 10, I'll be sharing my learnings from the Kahau I Te Ao e-commerce program, which is supported by Te Whare Hoka Hoka, who have the vision to improve the lives of 10 million Indigenous people through education. So before I start my program, and we've got a lot of juicy kōrero to go through today, I'm just going to plug a really important event that is taking place this Saturday. So that's Saturday, 16th of October from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and it's Super Saturday and it's Let's Get Vaccinated. There is one site, Carrington Park in Carterton, and then here in Masterton at Mitre 10, Mega Masterton. And so it starts from 10 to 4. All tradies that get vaccinated enter in the draw to win a $500 Mitre 10 gift card. Everyone 12 plus can go down and get vaccinated. Also, just want to acknowledge our 3 vaccination sites. The first one, Te Kaumaiwa, at 195 Chapel Street is open Friday and Saturday's opening 9:30 and walk-ins are fine. The departmental building, which is level 2, 35 to 37 Chapel Street, open Monday to Saturday 10:15 to 6:45 and 14 Wakefield Street in Featherston. So that's for our South Wairarapa whānau. Open Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they open at 10 on Tuesdays, Wednesday and Thursdays at 12, and Friday at 10 a.m. So now that I've got that out of the way, we're going to get straight into our kōrero. Last week we unpacked this thing called mindset, which is a set of beliefs that shape how you make sense of the world and yourself and the world. It influences how you think, feel and behave in multiple situations. And mindset, and specifically a growth mindset, is the foundation to impactful and successful entrepreneurship, because a person with a growth mindset is one that takes risks, works on their craft or their skill and their gifts, puts themselves out there, is not afraid of criticism and isn't afraid of not following the crowd, so walking alone. So if you want to listen to last week's program, go to the Arrow FM Facebook page. My program is on there. Or you can download Arrow FM's podcast app and search for Mama E-Preneur Under Construction in the search engine. And you can listen to the program on any of your devices. So what juicy kōrero or talk is on the menu today? Today we are diving into the e-commerce system. And a system is a way of working, organising or doing something which follows a fixed set of rules. And so, for example, each of us has a wardrobe in our room, and some people have a system of how to organise the wardrobe. And the purpose of having this system is to be able to glance at their clothes and start planning their outfits. So they might have a list of outfits that you can wear to work, when you're dining out, when you're going shopping. They can identify clothes that they might need to get more of because they might only have one, or the ones that they've got, they're starting to get holes or they can't fit them anymore. And they identify what clothes need to be rotated because of the season. So summer clothes come out in summer and they're put away during winter. But that is a way of organising a person's wardrobe. and it follows a fixed plan or a set of rules. And just so you know, I don't follow that system at all. Mine is very organic. But in an e-commerce frame, the e-commerce system is the essential parts of the process to selling things online. And myself and the students of the Kahau I Te Ao program will be building the very system that I'm going to be talking about today, and it's part of creating our very online business that is sustainable. And I want to emphasize that word, sustainable. Our teacher, mentor, who is also the CE of Te Whare Hoka and Kahau I Te Ao, his name is Travis O'Keefe. He tells us if you think you can sell things online from just having a website, you're wrong. You need to have an e-commerce system. And this e-commerce system I'm going to share is the same one that e-commerce gurus follow or have. And Travis, who I had mentioned before, he studied 24 e-commerce gurus. So these are online entrepreneurs that are making 6 to 7 figures a year by selling their product or their services online. And one of the gurus includes a New Zealand-born Sam Owens, and he's somebody that I follow on social media. Travis identified that they all have a few things in common, and that is the e-commerce system. So there are 3 parts to that system that we're going to explore, dive into, unpack and chew on. Yeah, we're going to have a good kai today. The first part of the system, so there's the first part of the system has 3 components. So 1.1 is traffic. So traffic is another word for potential customers, and what we want to do is to drive or influence, seduce, or influence customer behavior so that they go to your online store or go to my online store. So that's traffic. 1.2 is there is a web page or a landing page, which is an online store. And the purpose of the web page or the online store is to convert this traffic or the potential customers into sales. In other words, you want people to buy things from you. 1.3 is an autoresponder. And an autoresponder is a series of pre-written emails that is put into a piece of software, and it is programmed to send emails to customers or people that have been into the store, and the software sends emails to them at selected times. So it might be every 1 or 2 days that you'll get an email. And so those are the 3 parts of the first component of the system. The second component of the system, of the e-commerce system, is a strategy. And a strategy is a very clear, focused, specific plan of action to help you achieve your goal. And it keeps you focused so you don't go wee wah wah, go up and down the mulberry bush. But instead of doing that, you're investing your time and energy into specific actions, and you focus only on those actions so that you don't waste your resources or energy or time going on a tangent or many tangents. Number 3 of the system is to be clear about the customer avatar. And I've spoken about the customer avatar maybe a few times on this program, and that's because customer avatar and knowing who your customer is important. It is one of the most key and important things that you will want to find out. So a customer avatar is your best buyer. And they're the target market or your buyer personality, and it is essential that you are clear, or that I'm clear, about my customer avatar, because it determines, one, how I communicate to them. So let's say that my customer is a male that fishes. So I'm going to use certain language that he understands. And it would be different language that I would use if my customer was somebody that was a general manager of a supermarket. Okay. So two, knowing your customer avatar determines where you will find your person. So depending on what they like, so they might hang out at conferences, at universities, at groups for dads, they might go to music training and courses because they love music. Number 4, the gurus. You want to find out who are their gurus. So that tells you what their core values and philosophies are, but it also tells you what they're aspiring to do or achieve. And number 5 is you want to find out what their unique problem is, and what you're going to do is that you're going to solve their problem through the product that you create or the services that you provide. And So this is what we're going to be talking about today, and so there's a lot on. But before we get into things, we are going to listen to a waiata. We're going to listen to a waiata to set the tone for the day. It's a song by Maimoa, and it's a song called Wairia. The song talks about the importance of tikanga, or ways of doing things in a right way, according to our cultural values and traditions, because the world and the sea and the land, they need people that are going to take care of those things. And so this is Wairia. That was Wairia by Maimoa. And for those of you who are just joining me, my name is Sophronia Smith, and you're listening to Mama E-Preneur Under Construction. I'm a student of the Kaho i te Ao program, And each Thursday, 9 to 10, I'll be sharing what we learn in the e-commerce program. And today we're diving into the e-commerce system. So before our waiata, I mentioned the 3 components of the e-commerce system, and they are the components that each of the 24 gurus that Travis studied that they have in their business. And so today we're going to be drilling down, baby. We are drilling down. So number 1, traffic. So I mentioned traffic before. Traffic is another word for potential customers, and we want customers to know we exist. We want to drive them or influence their behavior so that they come to my store, or so that they come to my store. So how do we do this? So how do we actually do this? So there are a number of ways that we do this, and I'm going to talk about 3 different ways, but there's a number of ways that you can do this. The first is through paid ads. So like me, many of us are scrolling through Facebook and watching videos. So just this morning I was watching the video of a dog playing the piano, and he howls at the same time, and then the video is interrupted and I see an ad, and that is a paid advertisement. For me, some of them are hoha, a little bit hoha, and that is simply because the product or the ad is selling a product that I'm not interested in. So I'm not the entrepreneur's customer avatar or ideal customer. Other ads I have watched, I've clicked on the link to find out more and maybe sign up for, and I've signed up for a free webinar. And so I start a relationship with that entrepreneur or that person that has created the ad. But that's Facebook ads. YouTube also has ads, and I love YouTube. And I go to YouTube to watch music, comedy videos. I love African American comedy and just comedies in general. And while I'm watching music or these comedy videos, an ad pops up, and I either turn it down because I'm not interested, and I'm not listening, and I'm not interested because the person has the person is selling something I'm just not interested in, or I'll listen to an ad and my ears are turned on because they start to say something that really resonates with me, and there might be a convincing call to action, and they might say, what are you afraid of? Do this program about mindset so you can elevate and go to the next level. Or they might say, how important are animals to you, and you want to donate now. But there's certain terminology and ways that the ads are written, and they encourage you to action, and it's a call to action, and they use specific languaging that influences the customer behavior. And next minute you'll be clicking on their link and signing up for things, and maybe even buying some of their products. So that's paid ads. One of the second way that you can drive traffic is through building relationships with your online community. And so for myself, I have Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and I build a relationship with my community. They know that I'm sometimes that serious auntie or fire that talks about e-commerce. I might talk about dementia because mum has dementia, but I'm also that funny fire hine. And I like to do skits, and I also love to sing and play my instruments. And so my community knows that I'm a very creative person, and I love to talk, and I love to have fun, and I love to do all those things. But a way that I can drive traffic is through sharing my ad or my product with my community. And it's not necessarily about sharing lots and lots of different content with the community, because we want it to be content that is valuable enough that my online community wants to listen to it, and then what it does is that it leads them to my website or to my store. The third thing, or the third way that you can influence traffic to your website or to your online shop is a blog. And blog is short for web blog, and it's a term used to describe ongoing information that is often written in a diary type commentary. So day 1, what I learnt; day 2, things I wish I knew; day 3, I'm not going to do that again. But it's a list of entries, and it's in reverse chronological order, so the latest blog comes out first and it sits at the top. And then you scroll down and then you see the first blog right down the bottom. One of the top 5 sports shoes in the world is Reebok, and I love Reebok shoes. And I looked at Reebok, and some of the ways that they drive traffic to their shops is through a blog. They have blogs for different countries. So Reebok is a multinational company, and they have blogs for different countries, for the UK, US, Australia, etc., etc., etc. Because their product is sports shoes, the blog page has a range of diary-type commentary that covers topics such as the best gift for hikers, exercises you can do at your desk, 4 things to consider when signing up for a marathon. And so through those blogs, they're building a relationship with their potential customer, engaging them, they're solving a problem or adding value. And what that does is that encourages people to buy something, but also more than that, to join their movement. Okay, and become a loyal customer who buys from them all the time. The second element of driving traffic is conversion, and so that's why you need the store, the online store, so that people can go to your store and buy your product. So that could be a web page, a landing page, and the web page, it converts 1.8% of traffic into sales. And but one example of an online shop is Shopify, and Shopify is a multinational e-commerce company based in Canada. And there are several things that is intentionally done to influence a person's decision to buy things. And the way the page is set up has a science behind it. So it has been tried and tested, and we know through the trials and through the tests that the way the pages are set up, it influences customers to buy things. And so on your web page or on your online shop, you'll notice a few things, and I'm going to talk about 5 or 6 things that you will find on your Shopify page. Let's say you click on a button and you want to buy a pair of hiking boots. Okay, and you want to buy a pair of hiking boots. So they're going to have a few things. The first thing is that the buy now button is written in bigger text than all of the other text on the page, and so your eyes are automatically going to go there, and so in your mind you're reading buy now, and this is about influencing you to buy something. Number 2 is about social proof. So social proof is a message about how the product you sell impacts or benefits the life of a person that uses the product. So let's go back to Reebok shoes. So they sell a range of sports shoes, and one specific type of sports shoes is Reebok hiking shoes. And the words that they might use is Reebok hiking shoes protects me against the elements. Reebok's hiking shoes grips well on loose gravel. And so that is social proof. Your Shopify store also allows you to know the store conversion rate. So it's a set of analytics, and you can see how many people go into your shop and how many are converted into sales. And this is really useful data to have, especially if you're wanting to build your business. So let's say you read through your analytics and you look at all of your costs going out, which includes paid ads, staff, etc., and you want to expand by 10%. So you can identify from the analytics how much product you have to sell in order to be able to build and grow your business. And then on the page they have a add to cart, and this is something that online and physical stores have. Buy now, add this to your cart. I was at Pack and Save yesterday. I was walking past some avocados. Buy 3 avocados, get the second one for 50 cents. So there's a whole range of things, but it's like, so I went to Pack and Save to get some mints and some burger buns, and I came back with 10 things. So it really works. And then there are people that will go into the store and they actually don't buy anything. And that might be because Nan rang while you were buying something online and wants you to go down to get your lotto. Or the neighbour visits with a sack of kinners, and who can give up kinners? Nobody can, and so you have to have a kai with your neighbour, and so you're stopping your you're not going to buy the product that you were looking at, and so what you want to do is actually ensure that those people that haven't bought anything, or that they've been interrupted halfway during that process of buying something, and so you want to bring them back and you want them to buy something, and that's why getting their email is really important, so that you can say, hey Sophronia, I noticed that you didn't buy this, but be sure to come back and purchase them while they're on special. So there's ways of drawing you in again. But there are many ways that we can use the analytics. And this leads me to my next point of how you can get people that have come into your store and either browsed or been distracted, how you can get them back. And this is autoresponder. And so autoresponder is pre-written emails that is put into a software, and over a number of days this emails are sent to the customer. So it's email marketing, and they are building relationships, and then after building those relationships they're starting to offer sales, and what they want to do is to convert you so that you buy something from them. The other day I was on YouTube. I found this incredible life coach. I liked her because she was down to earth and not too flashy, which sometimes to me comes across as quite unauthentic. She was real, and she was a woman of colour, so I resonated with her. I watched her video about mindset and life coaching, and then she said, I'm giving away this free PDF which outlines high market niches for life coaches. So I clicked on it, and and in the link it asks me for my email. I put in my email, and now today I have 200 emails in my inbox, not 200, maybe 199. But every second or third day she has sent me an email, and one talks about her story, working 9 to 5, becoming a mum, wanting to find a different way to create an income, and so she decides life coaching. And so that's a story that I could, through her story, I'm building a relationship with her, and I'm saying, hey, yeah, I understand this. You're telling my story. But that's the power of the automated email of autoresponder, because it gets the potential customer's email, and that is gold. The customer's email is gold. You're building a relationship, and you're not selling things straight away, and but you're building that relationship so they know, is this a person that I vibe with? Do we have similar values? Is this somebody that I like their brand? So Reebok, so think of Reebok again, or Rolex watches, and does it make me feel good? Is it going to make me feel good? Is it going to support my values? Is their product going to help support all my values? And if it adds value, then they're kind of like pulling you in, and then next minute you realise that you're buying something from them. So going back to the 24 gurus that Travis researched and studied, two things that they had in their business plan was focus on few customers and value ladder. But right now, before we go to value ladder, we're going to I'm going to play another Wairarapa, and these guys are incredible. They are LAB, and we've been talking about getting customers to say yes, and this song is called Yes I Do. And that was LAB. I have to turn the button off. Okay, that was LAB singing Yes I Do. And right now we're talking about an e-commerce system, and we want people to say, yes, I do want to buy something from you. I was talking about the 24 gurus that Travis researched, and he studied two things that they had in their business. And this is in addition to the e-commerce system, or it's part of the e-commerce system. And the two things that I'm going to talk about is the first thing is focus on a few customers. So that goes back to the customer avatar and a value ladder. Okay, so we're going to focusing on a few customers. If you make a customer avatar or your customer, your ideal customer too broad, it's kind of like a machine gun approach where you're trying to aim at your target, but you're going like this, and there's lots and lots of things, lots and lots of bullets spraying all over the place, and it's not necessarily hitting your target. And that's because the technique or strategy, the machine gun approach is not the technique or strategy that you want. So let's say I'm offering life coaching and I say I'm going to help people, I'm going to help everybody, men, children, women, teens, youth, and I'm going to help them build confidence through playing the guitar. So I included everything because I thought, well, at least I might get a few customers. I'll just, somebody should, take me on as a coach. But in theory, it might sound like this could work. But in reality, these 24 gurus that I talked about, they had a very clear focus of who their customer is. And so going back to the life coaching example, I might decide, instead of just saying that I'm going to coach men, women, children, teens, youth, I'm going to decide to offer life coaching to teenage boys aged 13 to 7 and help them build confidence through learning how to play heavy metal guitar. And so that becomes like my niche. What it does is that it limits my energy, so I'm not trying to build communications for all of, for men, children, women, youth, and everybody, because I'll have to use different languages for each of those groups. And it helps me focus on building networks with high schools and maybe offering to teach an online class to some of the high school students interested in learning how to play the guitar, and specifically heavy metal guitar. But that's about working smart. The next thing that they had was a value ladder, and the value ladder is a range of different products on each rung. So think of a ladder, and each rung is a product, and as you go up the ladder, the products get more expensive. Say, for example, that I have a premium product. It's an online growth hacking course, and it costs $495. And let's say that I don't apply the value ladder, and so I say, hi, my name's Sophronia, I'm offering you this free PDF, sign up here, and they sign up. And then the next thing I say is, okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is offer you this $495 course. And so that's a big, huge jump. And especially if I haven't got a reputation and people don't know me, they'll be like, hey, but this is probably not the best approach. The customer doesn't know who you are, doesn't know your credibility, your story, your values, but it also assumes that your client has lots of cash and or access to the same amount of cash as every other person. So you want to be sure that your value ladder, that and the way that you work it, is that you want to be sure that you're, I've just forgotten where I've actually, I'm reading from my notes and I've just actually lost it because it is scrolling up the page and not down the page. But the value ladder, what it does is that it is, okay, so now I'm like looking, here we go. You want to be sure that your value ladder has different paying products, and so that it's accessible for the person with $495. So that might be your premium course, but it's also accessible for the person with $45. Okay, so the client buys low value or free offer. So this is how you might do a value ladder. You might offer something free to the customer, and then you might say, and then I'm going to offer you a one-day course. It's an intensive course, and I'm going to teach you about creating these online programs, and I'm going to throw in an ebook and a PDF form that has a list of all the top world #1 podcasts in relationship to creating online courses, and today it's selling for $45. And then you might say, and then I've got a weekend intensive program, and it's going to be $195. And from this intensive program, we're going to create your program and we're going to launch it. And then you might say, and then my fourth product is $495, and we're going to create this program, and I'm going to help you set up all the systems that you need in place so that you can launch your system so that it has all the automated emails and all of those things. So that's the value ladder, and it becomes an effective way that you're offering the customer a great deal to start off with. But it allows you to start offering them products that are worth more and more, and on that process, or through that process, you're building a relationship with them. And going back to those 24 gurus that Travis talked about or researched, some of their premium master programs are selling for $25,000. And you know what? People pay that money, one, because they know that they will get value, they will get the results, because the gurus are doing exactly what they're teaching. So $25,000, pay this, and I will show you what I do. And this is how I make 7 figures. So if you show and demonstrate time and time again that you can get results, people will spend money on you. But they have to, there has to be if they don't know about you, it just means it takes a little bit of time to build that relationship with you. The value ladder also influences the lifetime value of a customer, and this is an important metric or way of measuring how much a customer will spend in your shop each year. And the thing you want to do is to influence customers and give them such a good experience and make them feel so good or happy, or answer their problems, solve their problems, but make them feel so good that they want to become part of your movement. So think of Reebok. Reebok is not just a shoe. Reebok is a movement. Reebok is a brand. And they're not cheap shoes. Reebok are not cheap shoes, but once people have bought into the brand, the movement, their story, they will buy Reebok for their children, for their partners, and every time that they need a new pair of shoes, they'll constantly keep going back, and that's what you want to do. And one last thing that I want to talk about is one other thing, that these gurus, and specifically Russell Brunson, and those of you who follow him, so I've started following him, and he is famous for funnels. But one thing that he talks about is lead magnets. And for those that don't know what a lead magnet is, it's how you hook your visitor and get them into your sales funnel, or you get them buying things from you. And so keep in mind that you aren't giving a content away just because the lead magnet content must be related to your e-commerce product or service and must be useful to your target audience. And so some of the things that they might do, a lead magnet, some examples are things such as a free trial. So I recently purchased Canva Pro, and Canva Pro helps me to create business cards. It helps me to create flyers, and because my contract work right now is communications for Kahununu ki Wairarapa, Rangitani o Wairarapa, and I work with our Māori providers, and so Canva Pro is something that we purchased just yesterday, and I had been using the free one for a while, but I realized that through there, it was from using the free trial, I got hooked, and I realized this is so good that I want our staff and our officers to be able to access this, and I actually want access to all of the apps and the resources that they have to offer. Another way that people get lead magnets is through creating things such as 21-day challenges. So at my gym, which is Trust House, just up the road in Masterton, they have a 8-week challenge, and it's to help you get into your summer body so you can wear your bikini. And that is a way to hook people into getting results. And we know that with the nation has been in lockdown, even though us in Wairarapa, we're in level 2. We've also just come out of winter. We're in spring now. Soon it's going to be summer. And so the people at the gym, they know their customer. They know, they've experienced this. So everybody's going to be wanting to get, looking good so that they can go and wear their 2-piece bikini down at the beach this summer. And these are some of the ways that these are some of the lead magnet techniques. And what is important is actually, what is most important for any of these techniques is actually knowing your customer avatar, knowing their problems, having the solutions, and ensuring that your products or your services that you have for sale is going to solve their problem. So let's go back to the 21-day challenge down at Trust House. So like I said before, they know their customer so well. We've been just come out of lockdown. Winter's just happened. There's lots of people overeating and eating. Summer coming up. They want to look their best. So they know their customer. They know their customer really well. Okay, fuel. That was a lot of stuff. We've talked about 3 parts of the e-commerce system: traffic, web page, customer avatar. We've talked about the value lead ladder, the lead magnet, the lifetime value of a customer. And honestly, there is so much information that you can learn about any one of those topics that I've just talked about by going to Google or YouTube, the YouTube University. And so what I'm going to do, we were going to have a waita, but I think because I've got a few more things to talk about. I'm going to talk about customer avatar. Okay, so I was hoping to talk about strategy and customer avatar, but I don't, due to time, I just don't have the time to share that. And so the thing that I'm going to focus on at the end of this show, or the last part of my show, is the customer avatar. And that's because I think that the customer avatar is so important, and so are each of those other parts of the e-commerce system. But you can't have a product and a product that sells if you don't have a very clear customer avatar. And right now, I have 2 or 3 products or services that I'm considering, and I'm looking at offering coaches. So I love to talk. So, and I know that you didn't know, but I love to talk, and I have a history or a career in the tertiary education sector, and I spent many years in that as a lecturer, researcher, manager, and a whole range of things. And but I feel that I have something to offer, and so that's one thing that I'm looking at, and I'm starting to create my customer avatar. And it takes time, and it takes research, and it actually takes a lot of brainstorming, because I have to identify who is my customer, who is my ideal person that who is going to want the product or the coaching services that I'm offering. And what's interesting is that initially I thought that my customer avatar was working professional women that are wanting to go to the next level. So that it might be that they're in middle management and they're wanting to go to executive level. And so it's about transitioning there. How do we get there? What are the techniques and the tips that we have to do to get there? And what was interesting as I was thinking about, my avatar is this, I started to have a number of men, professional men, reach out to me and say, hey Soph, I've seen you sharing your videos about e-commerce online and I really like your feedback, and one has even said to me, I'd really like you to coach me. And and so that is really interesting because that's happened to me 3 times, and and so what I'm thinking is that I will have potentially 2 customer avatars. But the customer avatar, that there's like so many questions or the depth that you go to and actually trying to find out who they are. So you want to know, it's not just about saying, oh, they're men, they're women, they're this age. You want to find out what are their goals, their values, and what are their, what is it that, where do they live, where do they hang out, and so you want to find out all of as much information about them as you can. And so right now, one of my customer avatars, her name is Wairarapa, and Wairarapa is a professional working mother. And she is somebody that is constantly traveling. She's traveling for work. She's busy, and she has children. She's a woman that is very passionate about her culture. So she might speak Te Reo Māori, or she might speak Samoan, because I'm not just focusing on Māori women. I'm wanting to focus on women in a certain age group, bracket, that are in certain jobs and have certain realities that they live. And what she's wanting to do, and what the Wairarapa is wanting to do, is learn how to best juggle life responsibility with career, and ensure that she also takes care of herself in the same instance. And that's about having balance. And so that's a little bit about my my customer avatar, and I'm going to be sharing more about Wairarapa, my customer avatar, as my program as I continue in the program, as I continue to brainstorm, and what I'll be doing is that I'll be sharing it back here. I know that I only have a short time left. There was so much more I wanted to share, but know that for any of the things that I've talked about today, the e-commerce system, that you can go to the YouTube University or Google and learn and find out about it. I'm just kind of like maybe planting a seed, and then what you can do is that you can then do your own research. And what you will do, if you resonate with some of the things, is that you'll actually start to go to even greater depths. So that brings me to the end of my show. Thank you for being with me today. I will be here every Thursday from 9 to 10, and I'll be sharing what I learn in the Kahau I Te Ao e-commerce program. You can either watch this live or download the Arrow FM app. And we're also on YouTube and Wairarapa TV. Have a great week. Remember, if you believe you can or you believe you can't, you're right. Mā te wā. O te